Welcome back to my shop again. First thing, I'd like to thank all the people that view my videos and all the subscribers. And I've been getting a whole lot of requests as to where I got my cheat sheets. Well, I made them. I made my own cheat sheets. So what I did just recently is relabel them so maybe somebody else can understand them besides me. And then I put them in PDF format. And I've got 3-inch to 20-inch figures on it. I've got it for 6, 8, 12, 16, 24, and 32 segment closed rings, solid rings, like this. Then I've also got 70% open segments, again 3 to 20 inch, for 16 segments, 24 segments, and 32 segments. That's all I've been using recently, so that's what I've got on a chart. But it's in PDF format now, so if anybody wants a copy, they can email me, and I will send them a copy of it, and hope you can understand it. Okay, so let's get on with what I'm going to do today. Today, I'll be making this. Glue ain't quite dried on it yet, but this is what I call the 3D ring, 3D feature ring. You can see it right here, hopefully, what it looks like. Now, I wanted 16 segments in a 7-inch ring, which means they're going to be very, very small. And being very small, they're going to be difficult for me to do. So instead of making 16, I made closer to about 19, and then pick 16. I think of pass the test and be okay. I used 3 different woods for the diamond pieces here. 2 real light ones, and then one just a medium darkness. And it don't really make what difference wood you use, as long as they're different. You can visually see the difference. And then I used a dark background. I used Peruvian walnut for the dark background, namely because it's easy to use and because it don't show much grain. So I don't have to worry about grain match on it. Now there's more than one way of cutting and gluing them up and putting a background on. One way I got here is the easiest way, is to first put these pieces on the one angle, then put the pieces on the second angle, and then put the side pieces on. But I really don't like the end results with that, so what I do is put the side pieces on first, and then put the angle pieces on after that. And so I'll show you how I'm going to do that, and let's get started with it. To do this, I'm going to use 4 different woods. I'm going to use 3 of the lighter woods for the diamond pieces, and I'm going to be using Peruvian walnut for the background. Peruvian walnut like this. We'll have to get a different stick. That's not big enough, of course. What else am I using? Where is it? I'm using I'm using Avidar for one of the woods. I'm using Anglum Pedra for another one of the woods. And the third one, I have got some off-colored holly that I got cheap because it's off-colored. Holly's supposed to be white. I got this stick of holly here, which is really not white, and I got it relatively cheap. But it'll be good for this. It'll make some nice diamonds. They don't have to be pure white. Now, first thing I do is find the size I need, the overall size for the pattern piece is about 3/4 of an inch, not quite, 3/4 of an inch is pretty close, because I wanted half the size of the total finished segment. But each diamond in it is going to be approximately 3/8 by 3/4 of an inch. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut up a bunch of pieces that are thick enough, of course, but 1 inch by a 1/2 inch give me plenty of room to make the diamonds with. Then I'm going to cut, we're going to sand a 30-degree angle on two 30-degree angles on one side of them, like this. I've got some of them sanded now, so I got two 30-degree angles to start with. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of them all done. To make the 30-degree cuts on one side, I use the disc sander with a sled and a push stick that's cut at 30 degrees, the one I use for 12 segment rings. And I'll just sand them down with this. And you can see I'll get a 30-degree angle cut. I'm just going to do one side on this for demonstration. I don't need this piece. I've got all the pieces sanded at 30 degrees. So the next thing I'm going to do is take 3 pieces, one of each material, and glue them up simply like this. 1 piece of each material. Just glue them up like that. Just make sure that the points come together on both sides. That's all I got to do right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I cut them all like this. Really should say I sanded them all like this. And then I glued them all together and freeze like this, one of each one. Being careful that the centers do come together right. What I have to do now is mark where the other side of the diamonds are going to be so I can sand them back. To do that, I have set my dividers to the width I want the diamonds. What I'm going to do is put the dividers right in the center and then mark the spot where the outside of the diamond is going to be, where the point is. All 3 of them, put a mark. And once I get the 3 marks, then I'm going to use a triangle, 30 degrees, and I am going to hold it on the marks and draw a line, 2 lines through each dot, until I get it lined like this. And that marks off all 3 diamonds. Now I'm ready to start sanding and putting on background material. To glue the background pieces on, there's more than one way to do it. This is the easy way here. You want all the grain on the background running the same. So if you put these on first and these on second, you can put a block on the side third. But I really don't like that way because of the line it leaves. So I'm going to glue them on in this sequence. First I'm going to glue small pieces on the side. Then I'm going to glue them on one angle and then the other angle. So the first thing I do is sand the sides down to the lines. And then what I'm going to do now is glue two pieces on the side. They don't have to be very big because most of them are going to get sanded away anyway, like that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue up some pieces on the side now. I've got the first blocks glued on the side. Now I've got pieces cut for the second glue on. So the first blocks are glued onto the sides. Now I'm going to sand it along this line, which is going to be along the B line. Sand it through the piece that I glued on, both sides, and then I'm going to glue these pieces on for the second glue up. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I've sanded both of these sides down so they're nice and flat and smooth across both pieces. Keeping a real careful eye on where these two meet right here, so I get a good sharp point there between the two. And I'm going to go ahead now and glue these next two pieces on. Glue them on like this. Glue them on like this. And we'll get that done and see what it looks like in. I got the sides of this last side sanded down smooth. I'm going to glue on the last pieces now. I don't think this one's going to come out too good, but we'll see. So all I got to do is glue these on now and then clean it up. See what it looks like. I got them all glued up now. So I'm going to clean up the faces and see what they look like. And I made 18, I want 16. Let's see if I can find 16 that are good enough to make me a feature ring. So I'm going to clean all the faces up on them now. If I find 16, then I'll make segments from them. They're cleaned up now. Some of them don't look too bad. I'll just see if I can pick 16 and start making a feature ring from them now. I've got them all cleaned up, and I picked out the 16 best ones. I need to turn them into segments now. In order to turn them into segments, I want them all to line up in a ring. So the first thing I'm going to do is make them all the same height from the bottom. I'll mark them off and sand them down to a line where they're all the same height on the bottom. When I get that done, then I will make them all the same overall height, so I can put them in a ring and clamp them and get them all lined up. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually mark them to the bottom and sand them down to the mark so they'll all be the same exact height above the bottom, and the bottom will be square. I got the bottoms all sanded now so they're all the same height above the bottom. And what I'm going to do now, I took my push stick and set the stop block so I can sand them all down to the same overall total height. So I'm going to sand them all down so they'll all be the same height now. I've got them now all cut to the same height, every one of them. So now I have to cut the angles on the side to make them into segments. I cannot use the stop block like I normally do to cut them. So I'm going to have to measure out and put a mark where I want them cut on both sides of center. I'm wanting a 7-inch ring, which means it's got to be 1.4 inches segment length. Let me check that real quick. .4048, 1.4 inch. So what I'm going to have to do is put a mark at 0.7 inches each side of center and cut them to that mark. So first thing I'm going to have to do is put a center line on each one, and I'm going to have to mark them. Then I'm going to have to cut each side, which of course is not near as accurate as using a stop block. Which means I may come up with a ring 6 3/4. I may come up with 7 1/4 because it ain't that accurate. Now that's why I make the feature ring first, and then I'll adjust the turning slightly to fit the feature ring. It's much easier that way. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark them and cut the edges. I do it on a table saw, but you can use a table saw, miter saw, whatever to do it. They've all been cut, they've all been sanded, and now I dry clamp them one time and check the joints, see how they fit, make sure they fit right. Then I'll be ready to do the glue up on them. They all looking good, so I'm going to get ready to do the glue up on them. Everything looking good. They're all lined up in the right direction. So I'm going to go ahead and glue them up now. Let me get different. Okay, got glue on all of them. See if I can get the clamp on. Come on. See if I can clamp her down a little. Make sure it's riding in the middle of the ring. Okay. Temper down a little. Make sure the corners are lined up good. Oh yeah, yeah. Then, let's put the top clamp on so we'll get it nice and flat. Then we'll clamp her down good. Okay. Pull this off. Give it a quick check. Yeah. Yeah. Looking good. All of them are got right side up. Okay, we're just going to let it dry for a while, about 15. So that's a finished ring. Of course, I haven't flattened the sides yet to use it. I'm going to flatten both sides, and then I'm going to use it in a beads of courage box. And other than that, it's ready to go. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Hope maybe you learned something. Any suggestions, any ideas, give me a message, email. And thank you for watching.